Okey, ramai sedang masuk ni. Okey. Dikabarkan seorang daripada sahabat kita akan menjalani saringan COVID sebab close contact. So, kita doa supaya tak ada apa-apa lah. Dan juga Al-Fatihah untuk Al-Fatihah juga untuk siapa ni? Maaf lah, semester ni saya kurang menghafal nama lah. Kepada saudara sahabat kita Muhammad Nazmin. Okey. Muhammad Nazmin mendapat berita bahawa mak saudara dia meninggal dunia. Okey. So innalillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Okey, 21 dah pelajar. Okey, sebelum kita mula lecture kita ni, ini adalah lecture yang terakhir. Maksud saya kelas yang terakhir. Sebab kita kita perlu mengetahui 8 chapters. Okay, kita dah belajar 7. Ini last chapters. Alright. So sebelum kita mulakan kelas, boleh seorang baca doa? Irfan? Okay, proceed. Baca doa.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma ta'alaina hidayataka wa anshur alaina min khaza'ini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Amin.
Amin. Okey, terima kasih Irfan. Okey, sebelum saya nak mula kelas ni, saya nak tanya berkenaan dengan assignment. Okey, dah boleh bahagi kumpulan ke? Kumpulan saya dah bahagi Irfan, boleh jawab tak? Macam mana pembahagian kumpulan?
Dah.
Dah,
Yang ikut list nama.
Ikut list nama kan. Kemudian ada kumpulan yang 5 orang, ada kumpulan yang 4 orang lah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, alright, good. Okay, ada apa-apa masalah tak yang ingin ditanyakan berkaitan dengan kita punya assignment? Assignment ni next week kan saya nak. Okay, so far tak ada lah. Cuba buat. Kalau ada masalah apa-apa, just kita boleh bincang dalam WhatsApp group. Okay. So cuba buat assignment tu. Dan hopefully minggu depan kita boleh hantarlah assignment tu sebab saya nak bagi projek pula. Okay. Dan early January, okay, early January akan ada test 2. Okay. Tapi malangnya ada seorang pelajar yang test 1 dia tak buat. So minta WhatsApp saya, nak buat ke tak nak buat. Saya bagi peluang lagi. Okay. Alright. So kita start our class. This is the last chapter. Okay. Boleh nampak tak PowerPoint saya?
Belum lagi, sir.
Belum lagi
Belum, sir.
Okay, mungkin.
Dah, sir.
Dah, boleh nampak? Ni.
Nampak, sir.
Nampak, Okay, engineering fundamental and problem solving ni kan? Okay.
Tak ada, sir. Tak ada, sir.
Oh, tak ada Sekejap. Okay, I think this is should be okay. Okay, boleh nampak?
Ada sir, ada sir.
Okay, good.
Boleh sir.
Alright. Okay, so today punya kelas, okay, kita nak tengok actually chapter 8. Okay, kita nak tengok on flow chart. Okay, sebagai seorang engineer, you kena tahu produce a flow chart dan juga kena tahu baca flow chart tersebut. Okay, selalunya flow chart ni kita buat presentation dalam poster, dalam slides, okay, di mana bila seseorang itu nak tahu proses yang akan berlaku, selepas proses A nak buat apa, kemudian selepas proses B sebelum ke C nak kena buat apa. Okay, so dia ada satu representation using flowchart. Okay, alright. Okay, then objektif kita belajar flowchart ni adalah untuk kita learn the art of using flowchart to graphically communicate an algorithm. Okay, algorithm ataupun sesebuah algoritma untuk solution to a problem. Kalau kita ada problem, macam mana kita nak solve. Okay, jadi selain daripada kita tulis ayat-ayat ni, step 1 apa, step 2 apa, step 3 apa, better kita guna flowchart. Okay, so objektif untuk projek, untuk silibus ni adalah untuk memberi pendedahan kepada you all the usage of flowchart in solution to a problem, and then become familiar with the flowchart symbol. Okay, kita kena faham apa itu flowchart symbol. Kalau dia rectangular apa, kalau dia bulat apa maksud dia. Okay, nanti kita akan belajar. So kita learn which the flowchart symbol to use to create a useful algorithm. Understand the three general structure of for flowchart development. Kita dalam engineering ni kita ada normally kita pakai 3 types of general structure for flowchart. Okay, and use flowchart to help program a solution to a time consuming process. Sometimes kita as an engineer, kita nak masuk bidang computer engineering. So bila kita nak buat programming, macam you all nanti you akan belajar C++, okay. Flow untuk programming ni pun memang perlu menggunakan flowchart. Okay, so apakah definisi flowchart ni? Alright. So flowchart ni sebenarnya adalah algoritma. Okay, dalam English dia algorithm. Okay, Malay algoritma. Kena ingat sebab kita student bukan computer science punya students, tapi kita kena tahu juga benda ni. Okay, sekejap sambil-sambil saya admitkan kawan-kawan yang nak masuk ni. Okay, so an algorithm ataupun solution to a problem can be described in term of text like statement. Macam saya cakap tu, kita boleh tulislah step 1 apa, step 2 apa. Okay, tapi dalam programming statement-statement tu kita panggil pseudocode. Okay, pseudocode ni kita panggil ni pseudocode. Okay, so or graphically in a form known as a flowchart. Okay, a flowchart provides a picture of the logic and step involved in solving a problem. So dia ada step-step dia yang kita boleh tengok nanti. Okay, simbol dia, simbol flowchart ni, a set of graphical symbol is used to describe each step of the flowchart. Simbol ni sebenarnya adalah standard. Okay, standard di seluruh dunia pakai simbol ni. Okay, so it is a standard symbol. Okay, so the symbol only means that communication with the software should occur by using whatever device or method is available and appropriate. So simbol ni, dengan simbol ni, sekiranya kita nak buat programming, kita tunjuk saja algoritma ni, okay, dan programmer boleh buat program using that kind of algorithm yang kita buat ni. Okay. Okay, kejap. Ada yang nak masuk lagi. Okay. Okay, jadi kita juga buat algoritma ni untuk kita define our coding system, okay. Kat mana nak letak input dia, kat mana nak keluar output dia, okay. So the programmer will have to be specific about the method or device. So kalau kita nak buat program, sebagai contoh dalam civil engineering kan, sebelum kita nak buat concreting works, okay, kita nak concrete. So kita kena masukkan beberapa data, nak ambil dekat mana concrete tu, concrete plant tu nak ambil dekat mana, grade berapa concrete. So kita letak dalam kita punya flowchart. Bila kita dah letak dalam flowchart nanti, kita boleh buat programming lah. Okay. Mesti you all pernah tengok semua ni, simbol ni. Okay. Simbol-simbol ni. Okay. Kena hafal. Yang 5 ni adalah asas lah. Okay. Dia ada banyak. So input, kalau kita tulis buat gambar macam trapezium ni, okay, ataupun segi 4 selari ni, okay, dia sebenarnya mewakili input. Maksudnya input ataupun output. Alright. Kalau kita berlaku proses, okay, macam dalam kita belajar chapter 3 tu, engineering process. So proses ni sebenarnya adalah segi 4. Okay. It is a rectangular. So kalau kita ada bentuk diamond shape ni adalah decision. Okay. Kita nak buat decision, kita pakai benda ni. So bila kita lukis saja benda ni, kita tahu dah bahawa sebenarnya kita perlukan decision. Either yes, okay, kalau yes dia turun bawah, okay, kalau no dia akan keluar ke sini, okay, no. Kalau ini adalah yes, okay. Kita akan tengok contoh nanti. Yang ni start dengan stop ni memang ramai yang selalu buat salah, okay. Sebab start and stop ni sebenarnya adalah lambang dia macam ni. Dia bukan macam ni. Selalu orang start dengan ni, dia tulis start, okay. Tapi ini adalah salah. Sebenarnya start dengan stop dia kena pakai this kind of symbol, okay. Yang ini adalah connector, okay. Connector ni bulat. Connector ni maksudnya kalau kita nak connect something, ini dengan ini perlu connect. So kita akan buat macam ni, okay. Kita akan buat bulat. So dia ada tahu perlu connect, okay. So 5 simbol ni saya harap you all hafal, okay. Sebab nanti dalam soalan kita akan buat test 2 nanti, awal Januari, okay. Test 2 selalunya pensyarah akan bagi satu keadaan, okay, kita buat dalam ayat, then you all kena buat flowchart, okay. So kena hafal benda ni, okay. Dalam engineering selalunya kita ada 3 types of flowchart, okay. Kita pakai yang general lah, okay. Yang pertama adalah sequential, okay, sequential. Yang kedua adalah selection, yang ketiga adalah repetition, okay. So kena tahu apakah beza ketiga-tiga structure ni, okay. Okay, good. Okay, so boleh nampak ke saya punya PowerPoint?
Boleh, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, yang pertama adalah sequential structure. Apa maksud dia? Okay, maksudnya a sequential structure defines a series of steps that are performed in order. Dia satu line saja, okay. Beginning at the start point and proceeding sequentially from operation to another operation until the stop symbol is reached. Stop tadi adalah lambang macam ni lah, stop. Start dengan stop lambang macam ni, okay. Bila dah jumpa ni baru dia berhenti, okay. So no decision, okay. Kalau saya kata buat sequential structure, maksudnya no decision are made and no step or series of step is repeated. Okay, okay, contoh dia macam ni. Ingat sequential dia macam ni. Dia straight line je. Okay, dia straight line, dia turun bawah, dia start, okay, dia start, dia proses, sampailah sekali stop. Okay, yang tu adalah sequential. Dia boleh jadi juga naik atas. Okay, boleh naik atas ataupun dia boleh ke sini ataupun ke sini, boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay, sebab yang paling penting you all tahu baca dia punya arrow. Okay, so bila kita buat sequential ni, dia adalah sebenarnya sequence lah. Okay, dia satu line sahaja, sama ada menegak, okay, ataupun melintang. It can be vertical ataupun horizontal. Okay, tak ada masalah. Tapi dia tak perlu, nampak, dia tak perlu buat decision. Kalau decision dia ada yang ni kan, lambang ni kan. Okay, so tak perlu. Jadi dia adalah simple ataupun dia adalah sequence flowchart ni. Okay, ini adalah flowchart type yang pertama. Okay, so kita tengok okay, tadi adalah sequence. Okay, ingat ada 3. Satu sequence. Okay, kita dah belajar. Satu lagi sekarang kita nak tengok selection. Okay, selection ni is a combination of sequence. Okay, selection is a combination of sequence. Kalau kita tengok, the selection structure contains a conditional test symbol that asks a question with a yes or no ataupun true or false. Okay, so dia punya proses kat situ dan dia perlu ada decision. Okay, sebagai contoh ni okay, daripada atas ni mungkin ada proses. Okay, ada proses. Okay, tapi bila sampai dekat sini, dia ada satu decision. Okay, kalau betul benda tu dia akan pergi line ni. Disambung balik dia punya sequential. Okay, so kalau salah benda tu, dia pergi benda ni. Okay, sebagai contoh, proses. Okay, dekat sini dia tanya, adakah, okay, dia tanya soalan sini, adakah you male, lelaki, ataupun you female. So bila you jawab male, you kena pergi sini je, line ni saja, male. Okay, kalau you jawab female, you kena pergi sini. Okay, so kita either or, salah satu. Okay, yang tu dimaksudkan oleh selection. Okay, so yang keyword dia ada dekat sini, dia ada dia punya decision. Okay, okay, mula kita belajar sequential, lepas tu kita belajar selection. Now kita belajar repetition. Okay, repetition ni adalah repeat proses tu. Okay, sebagai contoh, the repetition structure sebenarnya adalah looping. Okay, dia loop. Dia kalau tak puas hati, okay, dia tak pergi ke sini. Okay, dia loop balik, dia naik atas balik. Okay, so dia adalah looping. Benda tu proses sampai akhirnya bila dah puas hati baru turun ke sini. Okay, so A0. So kalau A ni tak puas hati, okay, dia akan pergi kepada A0 balik. Tapi kalau A ni puas hati, yes, okay, dia akan pergi ke B. Itu maksud repetition. Okay, kita akan tengok ni. Ni proses dia, nampak? So proses 1 ni dia dah buat. Okay, proses 2 sampai proses kali ke berapa dia dah buat. Tetapi bila dia nak pergi ke last stage ni, dia ada condition dia ada syarat dia. Sekiranya kita penuhi syarat, okay, dan kita pergi sinilah. Okay, kalau kita tak penuhi syarat, kita turun bawah. Selalunya saya tak buat macam ni. Okay, saya tak buat macam ni. Saya buat kalau false, okay, baru kita pergi balik naik atas. Okay, ini kalau true. Okay, kalau true dia turun ke proses seterusnya. Ini yang dimaksudkan dengan repetition ni. Dia pergi balik. Okay, dia repeat. Buat. Kalau tak puas hati, naik balik. Buat. Tak puas hati, naik balik. Okay, so kalau puas hati, baru dia akan turun ke bawah. Okay, good. Okay, Ada apa soalan tak? Am I too fast? Adakah saya terlampau laju?
No, sir.
Boleh faham Okay, good. So kalau faham, Alhamdulillah. Okay, kita sambung sikit lagi. Okay, okay. Ini pun repetition structure juga. Okay. So kalau dia true, dia masuk proses ni. Kalau false, dia turun bawah, mungkin masuk tong sampah. Okay. So ini adalah repetition. So kita ada 3 lah. Satu selection, satu repetition, dan satu lagi adalah sequence. Okay. Hafal benda ni. Okay, hafal benda ni. Right. Memang akan ditanya dalam test. Okay. Oh, habis lah. Okay, ni adalah salah satu lagi repetition. Okay, dia boleh double lah. Dia boleh double. Sebagai contoh, kalau false dah masuk tong sampah dah. Okay, dah masuk tong sampah. Okay, kalau true dia pergi line ni. Okay, dia pergi line ni. Sampai sini dia nak lagi. Dia nak condition lagi. Okay, so kalau true pergi sini. So bila dah habis, kita buat dengan lambang macam ni lah. Bila dah habis, finish. Okay. So kalau false dia turun sini balik, dia pergi balik naik atas. Oh, dia pergi balik proses satu. Okay. Sama macam cadet punya test lah. Kalau you tak pass, you kena ambil balik dia punya yang sebelum-sebelum tu. Okay. So benda ni adalah repetition. Okay, now saya nak tunjuk bahawa sebenarnya saya ada bagi kan e-book. Okay, e-book. Okay, saya share this e-book. Okay, ini e-book yang saya bagi tu. Harap-harap you all tengok lah. Okay, jadi ni dia tunjuk input output simbol yang kita belajar tu, ada 5 yang perlu hafal. Okay, yang ni basic basic simbol. Okay, ini adalah contoh sequence macam kita ni. Nota ni saya ambil daripada buku ni lah, kita punya PowerPoint tu. Okay, ini adalah contoh sequence. Okay, di mana ini start dia, nampak lambang dia start. Okay, then input dia perlu ataupun lambang dia macam ni, macam segi 4 selari ni. Okay, kemudian dia ada proses, dia ada input balik, last kali dia stop. Okay, ini adalah contoh-contoh you boleh dapat dalam buku e-book tu. Okay, this one is yang kita belajar tu selection. Okay, contoh selection dia macam ni. Sudah. Okay, so kalau proses ni, kalau X lebih daripada 5, okay, kalau X lebih daripada 5, dia akan pergi ke sini, ke kiri. Okay, dia proses ke sini. Kalau X kurang daripada 5, kalau X kurang daripada 5, dia akan pergi sini. So you kena faham baca dia. Okay, baca dia kat sinilah dia punya main dia. X lebih daripada 5, betul ke tak betul? Kalau tak betul, pergi sini. Okay, line ni. Okay, kalau tak betul, pergi sini. Okay, kalau betul, pergi sini. Okay, so macam itulah dia punya sequence dia. Okay, ini kita panggil selection. Saya tak pandai guna ni lah. Okay, ini kita panggil selection. Okay, lepas tu macam mana pula? Oh, ni selection lagi banyak. Ada banyak line dia. Okay, so kalau pergi sini, dia boleh sama ada you nak arah sini. Okay, kita pilih. Alright, so okay, alright. So ini adalah selection structure. Okay. Macam mana pula dengan repetition? Repetition. Sebagai contoh, kita dah start daripada atas, start sampai sini stuck. Jawapan dia bukan 10. So dia kena naik balik atas ni. Okay. So berpusing-pusing benda ni. Alright, tu panggil repetition. Okay. Ini salah satu lagi. Mungkin kita akan bagi you proses, okay, satu proses. So you kena buat repetition ke apa ke. Okay. Dia boleh bagi macam tadi repetition under dalam repetition tu ada lagi repetition boleh. Okay. Ini contoh dia, boleh tengok dalam e-book kita. So kita kira bila sampai dapat jawapan, kita true lah. Kalau tak dapat jawapan, kita naik atas balik. You boleh guna untuk determine ataupun define your method of process tu. Okay. Saya nak tunjuk satu, tak tahu ada tak ada kat sini. Kita selalu pakai dalam research methodology. Okay, saya nampak satu benda ni, connection. Okay, bulat ni. Bulat ni. Kadang-kadang orang tak tahu pakai. Okay. So, kita kena familiar dengan connection. Ni pun satu. Maksudnya kat sini, input kedua-dua ni kena ada connection. Kena masukkan dulu. Okay. Baru boleh proses seterusnya. Okay. Example you boleh tengoklah dalam buku. Saya nak cuba tunjuk dekat you all contoh yang kita selalu guna dalam thesis. Okay. So saya buka satu baru lagi, flowchart. Okay, saya share my screen. Okay. Boleh nampak tak? Ini adalah contoh flowchart yang saya ambil daripada internet. Okay. So nanti ini kebanyakan flowchartnya salah sebab kita start dengan finish dia bukan lambang macam ni. Ini adalah lambang proses. Okay. So siapa yang buat start dengan finish kotak ni, okay, maksudnya markah kena tolak lah. Okay. So lepas ni dia perlu input. Okay, dia proses lagi, perlu input. So kalau kata okay, sepatut yang ni pun dia macam kena ada bentuk diamond tu sebab dia akan pergi ke sini. Okay. So ini adalah satu flowchart yang tak baik lah. Okay. Contoh yang tak baik. Okay. And then dalam civil engineering, bila you belajar nanti mungkin you nak buat lab, makmal. Okay. Sekiranya you nak prepare sampel, you kena buat apa? A, B, C, D, E. Kalau aggregates ataupun batu tak ada dekat size tu, you nak buat size apa? So kena move the flowchart. Okay. So the flowchart must be able to tell everybody yang baca flowchart tu, dia tahu cara nak buat flowchart. Okay. So itu adalah serba sedikit tentang flowchart. Okay. So saya harap you all buatlah latihan sikit flowchart sebab kita akan ada macam last year tu ada lecturer bagi satu soalan, kita kena baca betul-betul, lepas tu kita kena faham dan kita boleh mampu provide flowchart baru dapat markah penuh. Okay. Okay. Ada apa-apa persoalan?
Tak ada Ustaz.
Tak ada. Sebab saya pun baru balik daripada Penang. Lepas Penang sampai Penang tidur 2 jam, saya kena pergi Tampin. Semalam tengah malam baru saya balik. Saya agak keletihan, minta maaf. So di samping tu pukul 10 ni pun ada lecturer daripada daripada electrical bagi syarahan perdana. So saya rasa saya nak stop dekat sini. Then you all buat latihan. Okay. Bincang. Saya saya bagi 1 jam untuk saya tinggalkan dekat platform ni untuk you all bincang assignment. Minggu depan saya nak. Okay, minggu depan saya nak. Tapi masih ada masa. Minggu depan hari Rabu tu kita bincang dulu ada apa-apa masalah. So Rabu malam saya akan suruh email lah kepada saya. Okay. Okay, so kalau tak ada apa, boleh saya tutup kelas ni? Okay. Alright. So saya tinggal you all dalam platform ni. Okay. You all bincang. Kalau tak ada kalau semua dah settle, boleh keluarlah daripada platform ni. Okay. So oleh itu Irfan, tasbih kafarah. Irfan. Okay, siapa-siapa tasbih kafarah?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Amin. Okay. So nota ni saya akan masukkan dalam group kita. Okay. Jadi take this opportunity dalam masa sejam ni, bincang assignment, duduk dalam kumpulan-kumpulan semua, kira macam dalam satu kelas lah ni. Okay. So kalau ada masalah boleh tanya saya. Okay. So saya leave dekat Irfan untuk jaga kelas ni lah dalam masa sejam. Okay, terima kasih semua. Okay, sama.
Thank you, sir.
Sama.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, alright.
Silakan.
Okay, sama.
Silakan.
Okay, bye-bye. Jumpa next week.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Okay, sir.
Okay, siapa yang baru masuk tu, okay, Maria, so nanti tengoklah, saya akan hantar video recording ni lah. Okay, alright, bye.
Yang nantang di panjang ceritanya, sepi tahu tuh.
Iya. Kiranya jelas kan?
Apa?
Kiranya ni macam kita jelas kan?
Yes. Kerja. Maksudnya kita planning nak buat smartwatch. Perlahan aja.
Tapi kita kena buat ke? Smartwatch ni?
Securing research grant amounting to 24 million ringgit Malaysia, which has increased UPN's one-year rating by 64% in the year 2019 as compared to the year 2014, by which has also assisted UPNM to acquire 5-star rating in Setara. As a researcher, Azizi Miskon continues his research concerning the effect of electromagnetic fields, electromagnetic wave, and gravitational force on the stem cell behavior. He has also carried out research regarding enhancing the efficiency of drug delivery systems, investigating advanced materials for cell tracking, as well as designing renewable energy system for sustainable production of energy from microalgae. He currently leads 7 research projects and involves in 10 projects as co-researcher with grant amounting to 1.4 million ringgit. He has been awarded the World Invention Award for the innovations product called D-Cell, Defense Cell Culture System, at the British Invention Show 2014 and won a prestigious trophy of King Ahmad International Award. To date, he has won 5 special awards, 19 gold medals, and 8 silver medals, and 10 bronze medals at the national and international exhibition. From his research, Azizi Miskon has produced 27 impact journal papers and proceeding in that by Scopus and ISI. One book published by UTHM publisher and 2 lecture notes published by Springer. Azizi Miskon has also been recognized nationally and internationally in academic work. He has given many speeches as keynote speaker and conducted workshops in national and international conferences. He has also served as reviewer to research journal and sat in organizing committees for various national and international conferences. He is also a member. as an outline. Yang berbahagia Baginda Jenderal Profesor Insinyur Dr. Nur Azman bin Muhammad Noor, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation, yang berbahagia Dr. Associate Professor Dr. Khairul Amali bin Ahmad, in Faculty of Engineering, Assistant Vice Chancellors, and all the university members for this opportunity. Today, I would like to talk about R&D, STEM for Regenerative and Development of Bioartificial Organs. Before that, please allow me to share my unforgettable memory representing National Defence University of Malaysia when receiving the British Invention Show Gold Cup for Invention at the 2014 World Invention Award at the Summit on the London. From His Highness Sheikh Nasir bin Ahmad bin Isa Al Khalifa presenting the award on behalf of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. Please have a look. Now, let's start with the definition of regenerative medicine. What is regenerative medicine? Regenerative medicine is a process of reducing, inhibiting, or returning human or animal cells, tissue, or organs to restore or establish normal function and also increase the possibility of growing tissues and organs in the laboratory and impacting them when the body healthy itself. The history of regenerative medicine has begun called stem cells that can divide to create new skin adult stem cells. Or they can become more specialized skin cells to replace those that are lost due to cell aging or damage. In the lab, scientists can now induce or cause a regular body cell, such as a skin cell, to change into a pluripotent stem cell. Like embryonic stem cells, these induced pluripotent stem cells can become any type of cell in the body. Scientists study stem cells to learn how and why they become many different types of cells. In the future, these cells may be used to regrow tissues and organs that have been damaged by injury or disease. Stem cell therapy is a procedure that uses stem cells to treat a disease or condition. Currently, stem cell therapy only treats diseases and cancers of the blood. In leukemia, for example, the patient's bone marrow makes many abnormal white blood cells that can't do their job to fight infection. Over time, these abnormal cells crowd out the production of healthy white blood cells. In stem cell therapy for leukemia, called hematopoietic stem cell transplantation, a doctor will take a sample of blood or bone marrow from the patient or a donor. In some cases, donor blood may come from a baby's umbilical cord after it's born. These tissue samples contain healthy hematopoietic or blood-forming stem cells. Then, doctors will give the patient chemotherapy drugs or use radiation to kill the abnormal white blood cells and their stem cells. Once the abnormal cells are gone, the doctor will transplant the healthy hematopoietic stem cells from the tissue samples into the patient. These healthy stem cells will make new blood cells, including normal white blood cells, which will allow the body to fight off infections.
Therefore, to ensure the application of stem cells is applicable in the real situation, we must create an engineered microenvironment such as suitable culture medium and diffuser, substrate and culture system to proliferate and differentiate the stem cell for the clinical use. In future, by regenerative technology, we can realize the cybernization such as developing artificial hormones into the organs, using external life support system after internal organs failure, developing highly robust autonomous artificial organs, and using such robots to perform fast and safe organ transplantation. To achieve the dream of cybernization, our research group is focusing on fundamental of regenerative medicine, development of bioartificial organ, development of blood delivery system, development of artificial organ, and energy production system. For regenerative medicine, we do some fundamental study about how to induce differentiation of cardiomyocytes from bone marrow mesenchymal stem cell, reproduction of stem cell, and application of stem cell in regeneration of chondrocytes. In the development of bioartificial organ, we have some experience in the development of bioartificial immunity system, exploring new cell preservation technique, and developing resorbing pump with automatic pressure control. For the drug delivery system, we have developed chemical drug delivery system and mechanical drug delivery system concept. For development of artificial organs, we carry out some studies to control artificial hand using EEG signal, and finally, we also do some studies in renewable energy production system for the energy production. Now we look at the cardiomyocytes from bone marrow mesenchymal stem cell. The myocardial infarction, commonly known as the heart attack, occurs when blood flow decreases or stops to a part of the heart, causing damage to the heart muscle. Nowadays, people are injecting a stem cell as a cell-based therapy to repair the damaged heart muscle during the open heart coronary bypass surgery. However, there are some studies reported that the injected cells were not differentiated into cardiac cell and maintained as major hematopoietic phase in ischemic myocardium. Therefore, our strategy is to differentiate the stem cell into cardiac cell first before we transplant into the damaged heart muscle. Pakitani had all success to differentiate the stem cell into the baby cardiac cell. However, there there are some studies show that they failed to get the beating cardiac cells using the same inducer. Therefore, we have started to do some fundamental studies about the effect of substrates such as gelatin, collagen type 1, fibronectin, and polystyrene substrate into the performance of cardiac cell. We isolate the cardiac cell from neonatal rat using collagen S. The isolated cardiac cells were cultured on gelatin, collagen type 1, fibronectin, and polystyrene culture dish. The action potential was measured at 1, 2, and 3 weeks after cultivation. After that, the cardiac gene expression was evaluated by the real-time RT-PCR after 4 weeks of cultivation. As a result, the cardiac cell shows the best performance on the gelatin substrate, whereas on the other substrate showing different performance. The expression of cardiac markers such as troponin T type 1 and troponin C type 1 also highest in the group gelatin group. The result shows that the substrate plays a significant role to maintain the function of cardiac cell. This figure shows the morphology of neonatal cardiac cell on various substrate. Now we look at the effect of gelatin, collagen type 1, fibronectin, and polystyrene substrate on the cell differentiation process. The cell was induced with a chemical inducer and the beating cell, cardiac, and differentiation gene expression were assessed. The P19CL6 cell was used as a subject and 1% DMSO was used as the chemical inducer. Previous study indicated that the beating cells were detected after day 10 to day 16. However, in our study, the beating cells were detected at day 11. The P19CL6 cells induced on the gelatin substrate show the best result where the beating colonies were detected at day 9 compared to the other substrates. From this result also, we know that the different type of substrate will affect the expression of cardiac markers and cardiac differentiation markers. In this study, we also found that during the differentiation process, the proliferation of cells will be suppressed. After that, we are looking for the best way to differentiate the mesenchymal stem cell to the cardiac cell. First, we induce the cell with inducer, culture it on a different substrate, and we make evaluation based on the beating cell and the expression of cardiac and differentiation markers. We have studied the effect of 5-azacitidine, vitamin C, and basic fibroblasts perspective on the differentiation of mesenchymal stem cell to the cardiac cell. We found that the combination of the all inducers is the best. After that, we look at the effect of induction method and the effect of different substrate. We isolate the bone marrow mesenchymal stem cell from the femur and tibia of 4-week SD rat. We culture until 4th passage. After that, we induce with the inducer with the monolayer and suspension.
Ya bro. Ya. Aku kat rumah kelas nombor 12. Bro kat mana office? Oh ya, aku ada kelas. Aku tengah buat kelas. Saya petang tengok macam mana? Belum tahu lagi tengok saya kalau Romi tak jadi. Oh, I see. Tak ada, sorry. Okay, bro, Raja. Yeah.
Method. We found that after 3 weeks in use with suspension method, the morphology of stem cell was changed to the spindle-like shape and beating circulating cells were only detected by suspension method. The proliferation of stem cells was suppressed during week 1 and week 3. We assume that this is because of the stem cells are at the differentiating process. The cardiac cell was confirmed by the expression of cardiac markers and cardiac differentiation marker. The expression of cardiac markers and the cardiac differentiation marker were high for the suspension method. The building colonies also were confirmed as a cardiac cell based on the troponin AC antibody. This is the video of feeding differentiated mesenchymal stem cell to the cardiac cells. From our study, the minimum number of cells that can function is at least 1 billion cells. There is very limited numbers of cells in our body. Therefore, we need to increase the number of cells in the laboratory before we can transplant them to the patient. Nowadays, basic fibroblast growth factor is used to enhance the number of cells. However, the growth factor can induce the stem cell to the other cells. Hence, we need to develop a new technique to enhance the cell number. Now we look at the stem cell reproduction. During our study on the impact of gravitational force and electromagnetic waves to the bone marrow mesenchymal stem cell, we found that the magnetic interval had a mean value of approximately 17 kilocalories equivalent to 0.017 millitesla. From field on the cell culture is using waterfall method monitor, and we found that the device produces 0.02 millitesla approximately. After that, we exposed the magnetic field to the stem cell. This is the isolation constant based on mesenchymal stem cell from the crop. The stem cell will continue until passage. The cell is exposed to the electromagnetic field in the conditions. Firstly, the in monolayer condition, and secondly, is in suspension induction. The stem cell also was exposed to the static magnetic field in monolayer method. We found that the number of stem cells increased 30% after 120 hours treated with electromagnetic field using monolayer condition, and 107% increase after 120 hours treated with suspension induction. While the stem cell exposed to the static magnetic field, the cells increase up to 50%. This cell cycle results clearly indicated that the magnetic field accelerated the cell proliferation after 18 hours treated with the magnetic field. We also found that the electromagnetic field from our device did not change the specific markers for mesenchymal stem cell. We assume that the stem cells are able to maintain their characteristic and the status. This assumption is
Patut tak bangun-bangun lagi, nanti saya dah sedap dah pukul 9.
the same result
Saya nanti kalau saya nak bangun dia dah buka mata.
we also
Tak suruh
observed
dia tidur.
in the experiment of the stem cell
Oh,
the
jangan
electromagnetic field can be differentiated to the chondrocyte.
Oh, ingat awak.
As we look at the regulation of chondrocyte over mesenchymal stem cells, this is the project that has been designed for the preclinical study. The stem cell numbers can be increased using our previously developed device for PCAS. The stem cells that are
Lagi kita di komputer dulu, banyak kamu punya laptop ni dah penuh ah.
be counted on the developed scaffold. And the differentiated stem cells will be transplanted into a shape with induced osteoarthritis, and then the cells will be
Bapa habiskan beras buat peredas tu.
the stem cells are collected during osteoarthritis model inducing by the veterinary
Okay, insyaAllah.
This is the open
Dah baca
source
ni.
process during osteoarthritis model inducing. Because the opportunity is quite hard, we developed a new technique, the osteoarthritis model using a microscopy technique. This is the difference between normal knee joint and the osteoarthritis knee joint. This is the situation during pre-operation for the preparation for the surgery. This is the situation during the operation. And we successfully developed the osteoarthritis model using microscopy technique. We also managed to increase the number of sheep bone marrow mesenchymal stem cells by 139% after coordination. Now, we look at the development of bioartificial intelligence system. For the bioartificial organs development, as we already know that the first treatment for hepatitis is liver transplantation. However, because of shortage of the donors and restored organ transplantation, we propose to develop bioartificial intelligence system as a bridge to support conventional liver transplantation until the regulation of their own hepatocyte. The strategy in developing the bioartificial intelligence system is first we isolate the liver cell or liver cell from the study human liver or animal liver. Then we need to culture a large number of cells so that the isolated cells can function as an organ. Because of the conventional culture system is very limited in space, therefore we need to develop a 3D cell culture system. This is the bioreactor that has been developed to culture the hepatocyte. The scaffold is made from polytetrabol and IPT and ethyl for membrane, coated in the polyamino acid and united PAU. This is the schematic diagram of the radial bioreactor for bioartificial intelligence system. This is the actual system developed for the lab experimental. This is the hepatocytosis process. First, we cut about 80 grams from the liver lobe. After that, we produce EDTA solution from the blood. After that, we produce the displaced and collagenase solution from the matrices. Subdivision and dispersion are done to ensure all the collagen and matrices divided into the collagenase. Next, all the unnecessary matrices were filtered, centrifuged, and VTG for 1 million and another was discarded. The isolated cell then counted in the bioreactor system for 7 days. From our study that had been carried out, the system with at least 1 million cells with 90% DNA. We found that the cultured phagocytic system can maintain producing albumin and ammonia metabolism at optimal rate for 7 days. From the focus consumption rate and oxygen consumption rate, we can see that the cells proliferate properly in the system. Now we look at the cell preservation technique. As we know, the isolation process is time consuming and the process of RNA. In this regard, we need to preserve the large number of cells that we can use immediately when necessary. However, the liver cells cannot function normally after preservation and contamination. As
Itu ada di hari ini.
we propose to
Betul
preserve
ada
the
di hari
cells
ini. Itu memang ada di hari ini.
completely and is taking a look at the integrated
Betul.
ECG. The hepatocyte itself was carried out as follows. First, hepatocytes were counted for 4 days. After that, the medium was changed to the medium containing ECG, and the system was preserved for another 4 days without containing the medium and room temperature. Finally, the sodium was replaced with the medium and the patient culture was restarted. We found that the function of liver cells such as albumin production and ammonia metabolism are back to the normal as shown in the figures after preservation and contamination for 4 days. The glucose and oxygen consumption are also coming back to the normal after the preservation period.
Boring gila tiga semua cakap. Dia baca
We found that
Sebab sisi dah. Kita tak kena yang sebenarnya.
cakap pun cepat kan. Dia macam tak kira orang. Dia kena buat syarahan ni baru boleh naik voice tau. So dua orang ni, iaitu Wisconsin dan Taufik ni, ambil komen, esok dia akan naik voice tau.
Tapi kan tak periksa lah tak dekat top ya.
This is the qualification for the development of bioartificial organ studies. Now we look at the drug delivery system. For the other study, we can also develop the coordination between the integration of the product with the new groups. In this study, targeting of overexpressed glucose transporter by using the glucose that propagates to liver cells is expected to ensure drug delivery efficiency. This figure shows the difference between the conventional method and our new method. In this study, it was found that there is a favorable range between the glucose and minimal component method.
Ya, Mak. Ya. Buatlah syok nak dia. Lagi dia mahal kan? Ya dah, benzin cuti sampai tempat dah. Kan dia punya sumbu dia tu. Apa? Bukan begini. Cakap. Dia suka cakap.
Ada ni.
Hmm?
Cakap Arab.
Kenapa bukan cakap? Lihat. Oh, Singapura negara Asia Tenggara yang pertama sampai vaksin COVID-19 dari pihak netizen.
Pfizer.
Yang tengah betul storage. Tahu kita pun kita boleh masuk ke Pak?
Sekali hari ni. Dia pasal meditation ni aku cari tu ni. Sebab dia raya tu bini dia kata dia raya tu biasa.
Ha?
Sebab dia raya tu bini dia Azizi. Kalau tidak, dia raya pun dapat biasa.
So dia masuk dapat persembahyangan lah.
Jahat saya. Kata tak boleh integriti dia. Mana tahu kita. Buat situ.
Dia orang cerita tu. Dia takkan ada kasih dia semangat. Macam tu. Lepas tu kahwin lagi dapat lagi semua anak saya rasa. Dapat lagi semua anak saya rasa. Kan tak ada dah. Kan ada kan lagi semua anak. Ini dia nombor 2 tu. Dia cerai ke ada lagi? Ha? Kahwin apa? Student? Kan? Student apa? Student master?
Jadi itu ada master dia masuk jadi tutor. Itu UPM tak sama PhD. Waktu scanner ni semua waktu tahun 2000 dekat FTJ lah.
Oh, jadi ada lagi kat sana.
Ini tak balik.
Kau balik dah? Macam mana dia boleh buat macam tu lah? Malu ke apa tu?
Macam tu sangka macam tak bocor rahsia ke.
Malu.
Dia orang pun malu lah.
Benda kalau dalam tekung, lama-lama dia busuk, keluar ke dia tak boleh tutup dah. Kata benda yang tak betul, benda kahwin tu boleh dari Islam tak larang. Kan? Dari Islam tak larang, tapi cara kau tu silap. Kau tak bagi tahu kat bini dia tu. Jadi dalam kita hati dah dah dengar. Apa yang kalian
So for generation system, normally we use different type of fuel, such as diesel, coal, natural gases, water, and even nuclear power to generate electricity. This energy can fuel using high voltage to voltage at the generation site is increased to 400 or 500 kV for
pakai anjing dengan bayar-bayar. Cerita yang abang kena belajar benda tu. Bukan dengar, faham. Makan besar sotong ni. Kita ni besar ke? Kita pun makcik-makcik ke tengah muak dia? Dia bukan tadi macam makcik-makcik. Kita tengah muak dia ke apa ke? Master tulis kepentingan dapur tu. Dia bukan cikgu. Kan? Saya rasa dia boleh lah nak jadi tu senang bagi kau maksudnya tu.
Dia ada keharaman. Datuk kehormatan ada ni? Oh, Datuk kehormatan, Datuk kehormatan.
Dia tahu buat master tiap hari dia duduk tulis dalam tiap hari dia tulis dalam Facebook tu. Dia jaja habis dia buat kerja apa. Dia dah Hasriana, apa rasa buat juga? Hasriana. Tak dapat tengah buat.
Dia nak buat apa pun, kalau tak tahu dia buat je lah.
Hasriana apa? Dia tak apa, dia kerja. Bila kerja dia ada masa untuk buat benda tu, untuk kerja. Sebab sudah cikgu kan. Ada kelas ada lah, tak ada kelas waktu mungkin dia jadi masih sikit dia punya tu kan. Tapi tengok dia kan jenis mami-mami. Dia jenis tak kira lah, dia jenis tegas rasa. Dengan anak-anak dia pun rasa dia macam hidup berundang-undang. Tak ada ASP apa semua apa? Kita tak ada pun ASP ke apa-apa. Kau buat apa tu? Ha? Kita dah buat 42 tahun pun tak plan bila lagi. Tok dah kot. Taklah dia biasalah kalau benda, apa saja benda yang disebutkan, bila benda tu macam ayam lah, kalau kita masak dia kan kat putih macam tu, dia ada lemak kan. Kau buka ni kau berminyak saat kita punya baju yang sidai tu. Kat ni dua orang ni. Abang bagi dia pada sombot macam minyak tu. Minyak tu tangan kot. Buka tu yang pada mencing tu. Tak tu, kat ni. Dia betul. Betul. Dia nak kat tu. Tapi dia tak tidak akan dia pakai sikit dia sikit. Tapi dia sikit. Betul dia kena pukul. Dia tak boleh over panas sangat. Bila over panas sangat dia pun macam tu. Nak bawa budak-budak tu pergi cuti ke apa? Saya rasa tu sebenarnya memang semua tempat penuh lah kot. Okey dah layang.
Okay, Assalamualaikum semua. So, saya end up this meeting. Hopefully you can arrange for assignment submission on next Wednesday. So, thank you so much. Terima kasih semua. Jumpa lagi next week. Boleh boleh saya end up this meeting?
Okey, sir.
Ada soalan tak? Okay, good. Okay, selamat selamat menjalani hari-hari sebagai seorang pelajar. Stay safe. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Salam.